Between 1901 and 1904, during what is now called his Blue Period, Picasso pursued the themes of suffering and alienation, taking the sick, the blind, the imprisoned, and the indigent as his subjects, marginalized people with whom he greatly identified as he struggled in the early years of his career. Here we see a man with a sunken, emaciated chest and hollow cheek seated before a spare meal. The Ascetic, and painted by Pablo Picasso in 1903, the blue portrait depicts an anonymous, emaciated man sitting alone at a table. Although the man holds a piece of bread in his skeletal hand, his plate remains empty and his gaze is fixed elsewhere. His vacant eyes and detached expression emphasize his unconcern toward his present state of hunger, and rather seem to be focused on his internal, spiritual state.
Asceticism is a notion in philosophy or theology that a person must deny himself the physical pleasures of life in order to achieve a greater and more lasting pleasure, whether it be in this lifetime or in the next. Asceticism is common in many Eastern religions, but can also be found in Greek philosophy, such as the Stoics. Even Plato suggested a sort of asceticism in describing his theory of forms. He explained that the truths of this life and its pleasures are dwarfed in comparison to those made available through philosophical investigation. Practically, most would agree with the ascetics that living a life of unbridled hedonism is ultimately harmful. It just depends on how far they would go in action to prove it.
For more information on this topic, check out the 60-Second Philosophy blog, linked in the comments section. There you will find helpful resources, links to free ebooks, and more. If you have questions about any topic in philosophy, post in the comments below, and your question could be featured in the next 60-second Q&A video. Subscribe and we'll study this together. Thanks for watching 60-Second Philosophy.
Pablo Picasso, born October 25, 1881, died April 8, 1973, was a Spanish expatriate painter, sculptor, printmaker, ceramicist, and stage designer. He was one of the greatest and most influential artists of the 20th century and the creator, with Georges Braque, of Cubism.